to Nightly Reviews, where I am your knight in shining armor. And today, this review is not a review, it's a story. I got a story. And it's because I was just talking to one of my friends, and I talked about the time I went to Cuba, or Cuba, as Americans say it, but it's Cuba. When I went to Cuba for my honeymoon with my ex, right? It was 2 weeks, all paid in Varadero and all that stuff. Man, I was so excited, man, because I was into cigars and pipes, but I was into cigars back then, something fierce. Anyways, we get to Cuba, and here's a side note. It's my honeymoon. 2 weeks with my new bride. And I didn't have sex once because I was so drunk every night. And so was she. Whatever, that's a side story. Anyways, we get to Cuba and all that, and as soon as I walk into the hotel, I see a guy rolling a cigar. And I'm like, yeah! This is wicked, man. Right away, I buy two. Boom! These are two fresh cigars. The leaves are green. I mean, the wrapper. And anyways, I'm just so happy. It's incredible. And as I walk by, they have humidors for sale, and I'm looking at these humidors, and they're really nice. And the thing is that there's no humidification element in it, and there's holes in the back of the box. And I'm like, well, that's no good. How are you gonna keep your cigars humid? You ever been to Cuba? Anyways, the reason why they have holes there is because it's so humid there that you don't need a humidification element. It's just, that's what it is. Just keep your cigars on the kitchen table. Anyway, so I'm having a cerveza. I forget what I was having. It's Padron or something. Some communist beer. And, it tastes like swill, whatever. It was light. It was like, if you think Corona's light, forget it. So I sit down after a meal, and I got my two cigars, right? So I pop one in my mouth, and I'm saying to myself, am I allowed to smoke here? That's ridiculous, man. I'm in Cuba. Anyways, I light up a cigar, and it's perfect weather. Like, it's humid, and I hate humidity. And the thing is that get used to the humidity now, because you're going to be miserable for 2 weeks. So I just sat down, lit up my cigar, fresh cigar, not married, nothing, not fermented, nothing. I'm just smoking it, and I let out a puff, and it just stays there. The smoke just stays there because there's no wind. And I'm like, this is unbelievable. Stick my head in the smoke, Okay. So, the main story is, we go on this organized trip to go to Havana, right? And the only thing I want to see is the Cohiba factory, the Partagas factory, and the Hoyo de Monterrey factory. I want to see all these factories, right? And the thing is, Partagas Cohiba subs out the Partagas to make Cohibas, and Hoyo de Monterrey subs out the Partagas to make Hoyo de Monterreys, and Hoyo de Monterreys for me were fantastic back then, okay? This is when Cuban cigars were like their epitome, man. So, we go in the little van, and we're going to Havana, right? There's a 2-hour drive, and you're basically in the middle of nowhere, and it's poor. And I got my bottle of rum that I bought for, I think, $1.50, a 26 ounce. And that was the cheapest rum you could buy, and it was Ron Bacardi. If you wanted to buy the real top-notch rum there, it was $7. And it was, I think, aged 8 years, or 4 years, something like that. $8, right? Whatever. So I tell my driver, I go, hey, buddy, listen, we're going to go to the Partagas factory, is that right? And the guy tells me, Yeah, man, no problem. Okay, so it's lunchtime. We're eating lunch. We still haven't seen the Partagas factory. The guy comes up to me and he says, sorry, buddy. We don't have any time to go to the Partagas factory. I tell the guy, are you crazy? That's why I came for my honeymoon here. Because I'm into cigars. We have to go to the Partagas factory or I'm going to take everybody out here. Joking. I tell the guy, listen, buddy. It's lunchtime. Can we go now? Now. Let's go now while they're eating. Let's go to the factory, take a tour, and come back. No one's the wiser. The guy's like, okay, man, okay. Because I make friends with a lot of these people. Drives through Havana. We get to the Partagas factory, and it's an Art Deco pastel green type factory with like 4 or 5 floors. And I'm like, yeah! So we get right in front of the doors to get into the Partagas factory, and the guy says, sorry, man, the last tour just finished. We're closed for the day. And I look at the guy, and that guy was, I guess, the chief of the factory. I don't know who he was. But I think I got down on my hands and knees. And I said, please, I'm from Montreal. I'm on my honeymoon, and all I care about is to come and see your factory. Please don't make me go home without seeing your factory. The guy obviously had pity on a nut like me. So he says, okay, come on, get up. We start walking. He stops by a cupboard, opens it up, and there's all these Monte Cristos. And he had a torpedo. Grabs a torpedo, shoves it in my mouth. I light it up. Man, and I'm in shorts. I mean, I must look like a moron. And I got this torpedo in my mouth, and it's a big Monte Cristo, and it's just chocolatey and a little bit of pepper, and it's just, what a wonderful smoke. What a wonderful smoke. And he's walking around. We're going to go all 4 floors. So the first floor, he shows me around, the boutique, this and this and that. Second floor, I swear, this was like a Soviet era, something you see on Soviet TV. 1 floor, huge. Huge, no walls, just pillars holding up the other floors. All these women and these men rolling these cigars. There must have been, 100 people on that floor, easy. And at the end, there's a guy sitting on a desk elevated, reading the newspaper. So that's their radio. And it's the same thing on the 3rd and 4th floor. But on the 4th floor is where they have all their cupboards, where all the cigars are aging. And I can't even begin to describe the aroma, or the aromas that was on that floor. Okay, because those cupboards gotta be, 100 years old. He opens up this huge cupboard, and there's just thousands of bundled cigars. And I stuck my head in there, and that guy must have been flipping out. He was laughing, because I couldn't believe the smell. I'll never do this again. And I'm just smelling it, man, with my cigar in my mouth. A Monte Cristo torpedo, by the way. And anyways, the tour is finished. I hugged the guy. I think I was so happy and so giddy and stupid. I don't even think I tipped the guy. But I don't think the guy asked for anything or looked at me weirdly. He was like, hey, hombre, man, have a good trip back home. And anyways, we get back into our shuttle bus, go back to where they're eating. Everybody's waiting for us. So where the hell you been? Where the hell you been? Because it's been over 2 hours. I was taking my sweet time. I don't give a crap. And usually I'm not like that. I'm very courteous. But that's my Partagas story in Cuba. Hey, stories, man. That's what we are.